Okay, this is our lesson on the metric system. The metric system is modeled after a base 10 system. Units are organized by ones, tens, 100, 1,000, as well as 0.1, which is 1/10, 0.01, which is 1/100th, and 0.001, which is 1/1000th. We can use the metric ladder to help with the conversions, and that's on another sheet, so don't worry about that yet. Remember this little saying to help you as you convert from one metric unit to another. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. This corresponds to the K in the king corresponds to the K in the kilo. The H in the hecto goes with the H in the Henry. Then you have deca and died, units for unexpectedly, deci drinking, centi chocolate, milli milk. And the next flip page has this little metric ladder in there that we'll be filling in. Common comparisons for the metric system. We're working with length, mass, and capacity. Your basic units are going to be meters, grams, and liters, and then we'll build off from there. You'll notice that we don't have hectometers or decaliters. We're going to focus mostly on what we commonly see in society. So taking a look at length, so we should all be familiar with M for meters, which is like your meter stick. And a benchmark for that would be the width of a doorway. Standard doorways are a little more than 3 feet, and so that's just kind of like it gives you that visual, that eyeball of what a meter is. And again, you can also think of the meter stick. And then if you want to go really, really tiny, you've got your millimeter, and that's about as thick as a dime. So picture a dime, picture how thick it is, and that's how tiny a millimeter is. The next you have is a centimeter, and that's about as wide as your pinky finger. So you can even just look at your pinky nail, your pinky finger, and that's about the measurement for a centimeter. And then a kilometer, you'll see kilometers when you're traveling overseas, and that's about the length of 10 football fields. So you can picture a football field, now take 10 of those end on end, and that's a kilometer. The next one that we're going to look at is going to be mass. So we have grams. And that's about the mass of a small paper clip. We sometimes think of mass as weight, but we're not using mass for weight. It's definitely, it actually has a different definition, which you'll learn about in science. So if you think of a small paper clip, that's about a gram. A kilogram is like your textbook. So pick up your textbook, see how that feels. That's a kilogram. And then a milligram, which is really tiny, that's going to be like a grain of sand, a grain of salt, something really super small. And the last one is liter. So we have here, this is off a little bit. So liter here should go with amount of water in a large water bottle. You know what a 2-liter bottle of soda looks like. So picture half that, the large water bottles, Gatorade bottle maybe, that's going to be a liter. And then a milliliter is what you would get in an eyedropper. So if you're thinking in science when you're using one of those eyedroppers, that's a milliliter. And then a kiloliter is a lot larger. That's how much you could fit in 2 large refrigerators. This page is underneath the page that we just did. This is that flip. This is the metric ladder that I was talking about earlier. And we can simply just fill in that King Henry, died. There's your unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to be converting, and one of the ways that we can convert is simply by sliding the decimal point to the left and right. So taking a look right here, to convert to a larger unit, you'll move the decimal point to the left or divide. So it's kind of confusing because we're thinking, well, we're going to a larger unit, why are we making the number smaller? Well, think about inches and feet. Feet are bigger than inches. So you need more inches to fill in a foot. So when you're shifting things back and forth, you're going to be converting based on the size that you're starting with and what you're going to end with. That might be a little confusing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 1,000 milligrams. So here's 1,000 milligrams. that would be right here, 1,000, and I'm going to grams. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. So I have 1,000 little grains of sand, milligrams. How many grams is that going to be? Well, I'm converting to a larger unit because grams are bigger than milligrams. That's why you're going to move the decimal to the left. And because we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to give you 1 gram. So let's take a look at 160 centimeters. And this is my first time using this tool with this program. So let's see if I can change colors. We'll try it. I think I can. Okay, 160 centimeters. Look at that. 160 centimeters. And I want to go to millimeters, so I want to go this way. So am I going to a smaller unit? Yes, milli is smaller than centi. So I need more millimeters to fill up that centimeter, which is why I'm going to move the decimal point one spot, which will give us 1,600 millimeters, because there's more millimeters that are going to get filled into that centimeter spot. And another good visual will be if you just take a ruler and look at the metric side. If you look at 1 centimeter, see how many millimeters there are. Those little lines, how many it takes to fill in 1 centimeter spot. And that might help you understand why we're shifting it the way we are. So now we have 109 grams. Change the color again. So grams is a basic unit. We have 109. And we want to go to kilograms. 1, 2, 3. So we're going from 109, and we're going to move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3, 0.109 kilograms. And then we have 1 liter is how many milliliters. So you think you've got your water bottle. How many eyedroppers, drop, would it take to fill up that entire water bottle? So if you had 1 liter, and we have to get to milli, 1, 2, 3, that's going to give you 1,000 milliliters. Try the next one on your own. 14 kilometers. And we're going to meters. So where would that 14 kilometers be on the metric ladder? Right here. And we're going to the base unit. $14,000 meters. I'll leave the last one for you. And I think there's a couple at the bottom of this page that I wasn't able to squish in with the photo. You're just going to be doing some comparisons. Now I'm going to show you what you have for homework, and that's on the next page. Okay, so this is the homework, and all you're going to do for this is write the correct abbreviation for the metric unit. So kilogram, the abbreviation is kg. Milliliter is M. We're going to write with a capital L. Kilometer, km. I think liter is the only one that's capitalized. So you'll finish that off, and then you'll do these conversions and use that that metric ladder. And at the bottom, you've got some comparisons. Here's a suggestion for the bottom. When you're working with these here, actually convert them to either centimeters or meters. You're going to have to. You can't just look at these and say, well, 63 is bigger than 6, because it's 63 centimeters and 6 meters. They're not the same. It's like saying 2 inches or 2 feet and 12 inches. you have to change them to either centimeters or meters. Same thing here, change them to grams or milligrams, change them to milliliters or liters. Then you can go ahead and put the marks there for you. So this is your homework. I hope you do well on your tournament, and we'll see you on Monday.